We have three very wonderful guests with us. They're from a company called Elite Midwifery Services. We have Debbie, we have Deshante, and we have Diane. How are you ladies? How are you doing?
Yeah, we're good. I'm especially good because I'm abroad and I'm soaking up some sunshine right now in sunny Jamaica. So I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Bring some of that sunshine back, please.
Yeah, no, I'll try. I'll definitely try. But Drazzy, I'm going to help you out with the name. It's called Midwifery. So Elite Midwifery. So some people say midwifery, but it's actually Elite Midwifery Services.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Now I don't want to go out there and embarrass myself. Said, I was talking to these ladies from midwifery. What are you talking about? It's midwifery, you idiot. But
it's midwifery.
Basically, we saw this post on social media, and it says that black women are literally. Fred, you got the stats, haven't you, in comparison to white women?
Yeah, I'm sure they know it. Like they're like 4 to 5 times more likely to die during child pregnancy, and black babies are I think 2 or 3 times more likely to die even after birth and things like that.
Yeah,
due to complications and things like that. So
yeah, so we wanted to have a discussion about it, but as men, I don't want to come across like, we know everything. So I thought it would be nice to get women who are in the field to actually give us some deeper and more first-hand experience perspectives. So have you come across this news yet? It's all over the news, ITV, all over the social media at the moment. Have you come across it yet?
So, yeah, definitely. What I would say to you is that this has been statistics that have been around for quite some time. Okay, and there's a few black women that have formulated groups that are making great awareness as to these particular statistics. So they brought light to the subject. As a midwife myself, over 25 years, we've seen this, but we are somewhat loyal and not in a bad way to the registration body that we are attached to.
What happened there?
So they expect loyalty from us in certain things. So we can't just go out there and blab this, blab that. But I would say this is an ongoing problem, and that great awareness have been brought to the table. However, there is nothing like us out there. These are just lay people, women that have had certain experiences that have been traumatic. And unfortunately, even though they brought this to the government's attention and they've now had to sit up and say, we're doing something about this, we at Elite Midwifery Services are professionals that have been in the industry and are able to actually change the stats and the narrative that have been attached to women, black women in pregnancy, in labor, post-delivery, mental health issues, etc. That's what we're here to do.
Mm-hmm. So correct me if I'm wrong, but do you guys, do these have their are you guys doing like is it home birth? Is that what you guys do, or do you go and support them in the hospitals?
Right, so we aim to get to a place, Drazzy, where we could, we're planning. So the end goal is to really have birth centres in every region of London, the Midlands, okay? Now, the birth centre, we still have a criteria. There's a criteria to be met. We are professionals and we can't just jump into a field. This is not a situation where we can just open up a store and do things, right? We're accountable to our profession. Many of us have trained for many years. And we have a pin to keep. So we've got to be professional about what we're doing. We have electronic documentation that we're paying for to make sure we're under the radar of GDPR, that type of thing, all right? So we have set up this entity with the end goal of having our own birth centers where women can actually come and be delivered. But these are women that are low risk. All right. So most of the women that we see at the moment, they are not low risk, and there's many factors that have determined that type of status, so to speak. So we are trying to empower women now to change things like their lifestyle, right? On pre-pregnancy things that they need to do, and postnatal things that they need to do to have a better outcome for both themselves and their babies. family at large, because we've heard situation where men now are absent, where men are absent from the actual delivery and things go wrong. And when they go drastically wrong, they end up with a child that is motherless, right? It is that drastic. So we have a criteria to be met. And the criteria is that women have a confirmed pregnancy with their local GP, right? And that they're also attached to a hospital. So we're not taking away the care from the NHS. They have to be registered with the NHS. What we are doing now is giving them a professional, almost doula service, but on a professional basis. So we don't particularly like the word doula because we go the extra miles. We are midwives. We have pregnancy companions that we have trained up, and they are accountable to the midwives. That makes sense, yeah? And so literally we were giving them services alongside the services that they're already getting from the NHS. And the important aspect of that, I'll give you a quick example, is that when we rock up with our women, the professionals on the other side, they make sure they cross their T's and dot their I's. They make sure of that because they know that they cannot be fed information that is not going to be conducive to a good outcome for them.
You know what I was going to ask, like, can you like overrule certain things that they're asking you?
Absolutely.
Like yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I interject, Fred, because absolutely this is what we're about, right?
Okay.
So I'll give you another quick example of, and it also depends on the women, because women have to take charge of the care that they're about to receive, all right? So what we've done, when women come to us, we tell them to keep a journal. So we provide them folders and everything just to make it, more palatable. And we ask them to keep a journal so that they are making the people that are in front of them accountable for what they're doing. So, names, dates, times, that type of thing. They're writing all of that stuff down. People then become more accountable and they're more wary of what they're telling women. Okay, so that includes doctors, the midwives, health carers, whoever is in front of you that calls themselves a professional. We're encouraging women to write their names down, write the information, just a little synopsis of what they've told them, etc., etc. But the scenario that I was giving you is that a young girl has come to me and she had a blatant case of preeclampsia. All right. And
sorry to interject. What is preeclampsia? Because with me,
like high blood pressure.
Okay.
So it is. Thank you, Fred. It's absolutely, and there's varying degrees of. Preeclampsia itself is a full-blown preeclampsia. So you've got many aspects of it, but the in a nutshell is very high blood pressure that has spiraled out of control and needs to be controlled by way of medication, by way of delivery.
Sorry, I'm not sure what's happening to Deshante there.
Yeah, sorry, there was some interference there.
Yeah, I think it might have been Deshante. I've had to mute Deshante's mic until she can sort out.
So we're talking about by way of, delivering a baby. So a woman may need emergency cesarean section. To save her life, literally, and to save the life of her baby. So it goes really deep, deeper than just high blood pressure, because everything spirals out of control. So the electrolytes are all over the place, all right? And the ultimate is an emergency cesarean section, or, this could cause death to the woman and the baby, all right? So this lady had a blatant case, and I only reviewed her over the phone. So my experiences and the experiences of most of us midwives is such that we can get information on the phone and we would know exactly what's going on. That's how deep this thing is, all right? And she blatantly had a case of preeclampsia, presented herself at the hospital, okay? And they took bloods and sent her home. And I said, look, you need to go put yourself back in that hospital because this is what's happening with you. Unfortunately, to the detriment of this woman, she didn't take our advice. But that advice would have been overruled, Fred. The fact that they had sent her home, we could have overridden that if the woman had complied with the information that we gave her. Literally.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. So why is this? Why would you, in your opinion, or obviously being in the profession for so long, why do you think there are more cases of black women going through this than other races?
Okay, so for the first time in history, the government has said in the Embrace report, they have said that there is a case of systemic racism. It's never been mentioned, even if it's been mentioned, it's never been documented. You know, when you write things black on white, it's like you can't take that back. You know, and it's been written now, and it's a good thing because they have admitted that there's systemic racism attached to many things. So stereotyping, all of that thing. So they think black women are, you know, we don't need pain relief because we're thick-skinned. Things like that, you know, and those are things that causes women to go down a spiral where their outcome is not going to be good. Labor pain is real. It's absolutely real. It's excruciating, and it's individual to a woman, to every woman, and to every pregnancy, because some are worse. If you've had 10 babies as one single woman, you know, nobody can say that the pain is going to be better or worse. 9 out of 10 is going to be worse because your muscles in your tummy is somewhat more flabby, you know, it's looser, it's not as compact. So when it's taking the pressure of contractions, it's worse. The pain is worse. Having said that, the labor could be shorter because your body's already been through it. So baby will come maybe a lot quicker, but with worse pain. So, you know, if you haven't controlled a woman's pain and she's not tolerating, the outcome more than likely is not going to be amazing. It's not going to be amazing.
Where do you think these stereotypes come from? The stereotype that black women have thicker skin and they can endure more pain, they have a higher threshold.
I'm not a historian, but my dear, this is coming from way back in history, and we've got there's some horrendous stories out there where they used to use, and they still have them, instruments in the hospital that are named after people that used to do research on black women. Yes. The instruments are still out there, and it makes me shudder because I feel like, oh my God, I've been in the profession so long and I've never done anything about it, but nothing's done before it's time, right? And I just feel like it's time to highlight these things, in not that they haven't been highlighted, because they absolutely have, right? But those things need to be removed from these hospitals. These names need to be detached from what we are using. These instruments that they have used on black women, and come up with the connotation that these women are so thick-skinned, they can have like, I don't know, instrumental birth without pain relief, etc., etc. This is what has been happening. So historical. I mean, Diane, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, because the history, I try not to get involved with it. It kind of puts you in a different frame of mind, and I need to keep focused on what I'm
what you need to do.
Yes, which is to change the narrative of these black women suffering, these black babies suffering, or not even making it through, you know.
I need to ask you a question, also another question as well. So my mother died during birth, and then thank you, sorry. And then my wife, when she had my first son, was during COVID, she went through that kind of thing. She was in a coma for like 3 months and stuff as well. It was mainly due to like COVID and stuff, and they had to like do the C-section and stuff. I wanted to ask you, do you think the cause of like women going through this in child pregnancy, do you think it's more attached to women on a lower class than the people who are doing better jobs and stuff? And the question I asked that is because when my wife was in hospital, they had a name on the board above her bed, they had an age, and they also had an occupation, and that always it does a very, very good job. And that always, like, I always asked her, I didn't understand that whole concept of putting someone's occupation behind like their hospital bed.
So I've never seen that done, Fred, to be honest. Socioeconomics has an absolute detriment on outcomes. Absolutely. I'm going to hand this over to Diane because I can see that she wants to say something. So if we could hand over to Diane. Socioeconomics is what I would speak about.
Diane, I think you got to turn your microphone on.
Did you want me to take this, Diane? I can take this. Oh, we're not hearing you.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Diana. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let me chime in. Okay, so I would say definitely the God, it's so difficult to say because the lower class women or people that are deemed lower class, because I hate all of that. I don't try not to get into the politics of these things. Yeah, if they're not showing a certain amount of intelligence, a certain amount of assertiveness, a certain amount of knowledge,
Parents.
doing research themselves. Sorry, the mic again has gone funny. But so if they're not showing that level, yeah, they're definitely treated differently. Hence the reason why I say that we encourage every woman, we get in every class of woman through our doors. And I encourage them to keep a journal, because what happens when you do that, people sit up. They sit up and they take note that you're taking notes.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I want to get to a stage where women walking in with our folders, I don't have one here today to show you. Deshante might be able to help us with that. But we have folders that have, a black woman, a black man on it, and a baby, and it says journal over it. This is our journal. And literally, we want women to walk in with these journals and let them know that they are attached to Elite Midwifery Services, that the information that is given to them will be information that is conducive to any woman, health, safety, because that's what we're dealing with. It's about health and safety of these women.
Great job, you guys. It's a great job you guys are doing. It's a great job you guys are doing.
Definitely.
We are not playing, Fred. We're not playing,
Yes, we can hear you now, Dan. You want to add something, Dan?
Right. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Technical difficulties. When I listen to your story, I'm assuming that it depends on the facility that she was at, because I have seen this in the past where I'm a nurse and a midwife, just like Debbie. Okay. And this used to be the practice back in the day. But for the institution that I used to work for, they gradually phased it out because of the same issues that you raised about the privacy and confidentiality. So during COVID time, if it was still occurring would have been in your institute or the hospital where your wife was staying. So that's a local issue, but it was, and I'm talking, COVID is what now, gone 5 years?
5 years almost, yeah.
In a while, yeah. And I'm talking, I've been a midwife for over 10 years. So this was phasing out long before I completed or started midwifery. So it would probably be in the local one. With regards to how mothers are treated, especially Black mothers, I agree with Debbie regarding the stereotype. They just assume that we don't feel pain and what we're saying makes no sense, and they just don't want to engage with us. I'm not saying that's true for every single midwife looking after a mother, but my experience in working in different areas, predominantly non-multicultural areas, I have observed that how non-Caucasians are treated, Black women, is different. It appears as if they just don't know, they just don't understand. They've got the training, but they just don't know how to interact. From my experience of working in one of the institutions up north, and I encountered a brown lady, an Indian lady, and when she saw me on the ward, she was so happy. Seeing me on the ward was just so happy because no one else on the ward, patient and staff alike, looked like her. I was one of the only ones of color, and I was only just passing through, if that makes sense. It's a case where I spoke to her because it's common in the hospital that I was trained and practiced in here in London. We are such a multicultural city that when we step outside, we assume that everything is the same inside, and we have issues inside.
That's true.
When you encounter this situation outside, then it really hits home, and you're thinking, "Oh my God!" If somebody say, "No, I'm feeling pain," and for example, for example, if it's somebody who's having an epidural, and if there are two types of epidural, one is the block from the waist down, you feel nothing, and one is a top-up one, where they keep topping you up. So if the
sorry, Jazzy, do you know what epidural is? Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. All this is,
it's new.
you know, what it is with me. You know, it's so funny. Yeah, you're gonna have more knowledge on this stuff than I do, and the reason why, my daughter was a COVID baby. I was not allowed to any of the meetings. I was not allowed to anything. I was always sat in my car. So when my wife will come and tell me,
neither was I.
Is it?
My baby was premature. Right? He was in ICU for a while.
Yeah.
Or NICU, whatever. NICU.
Yeah, but that was just an example. And we go through all of this on EMS. We have a dad's group where you ask your questions, you bring all the stuff, because from what I'm hearing from you guys, there are still certain questions you have that you would like resolved. And you have a forum for that.
But you know what? Sorry to cut you, Diane. What is epidural? Because I think we got...
Epidural is a pain relief.
Oh, yes, I know that. Do they inject it in the back?
Yeah.
They inject it in the back. Yeah. My wife had that. Yeah, my wife had that. Yeah.
Epidural is a pain relief, one of many. Now, the example I was trying to give where I mentioned that is because if the epidural needs topping up and it, the mother indicates to the midwife, oh, I'm starting to feel pain, can I get some more epidural? And they say, yes. And they keep putting it off. Oh, I'm coming. And they're doing other things and they're gone off. And this mother is now getting distressed.
Yeah, because she can feel the pain more now because that one's wearing off.
More, she's not thinking logically. She said, I'm asking for help. Why is no one helping me and listening to me? If she doesn't have another advocate there, which is you, the partner, or another birthing partner, the midwife who is supposed to be the advocate in the room appears as if she's not advocating for her or giving the care that. But she will bring the epidural eventually, but you don't see the urgency. And that's because it's mixed up in a lot of other things. But that's partly due to a lack of communication breakdown as well. So you see, when they're saying, oh, a black woman can wait 5 minutes, it's not that bad. You don't know. You don't always know. And that's the assumption. But then if you ask midwives, they will tell you something totally different, because a lot of the times I think some of them actually don't see it. The ones who are being racist, don't think they're being racist.
Look, let's be frank in this. Sorry to interrupt, Diane. Let's be frank about this. They've got, at the moment they are, and I just find it appalling, right? At the moment they have groups, and you can look at it in two different ways, but they have groups where they're teaching people not to be racist or people to understand black women. It's a thing. Absolutely. So you've got groups that are teaching other professionals not to be a certain way inclined. And I just find it appalling, because for me, if you are a midwife or in any profession, but especially a midwifery profession, women are the same.
You shouldn't be taught that.
Exactly. I've been a midwife for this long, and believe you me, it's been a balance of women that I've looked after, and I've never treated them differently ever. Ever. You know, so I just find it appalling. Okay, more power to the women that have created this group, because we don't want to rubbish them. But at the same time, just the thought of having to have such a group and such a session, to me, it's appalling. It's absolutely appalling in 2025. It makes no good sense to me. We need to wake up. People need to wake up. And this thing about unconscious bias and all of this foolishness, in my opinion, absolute foolishness. Because if you can treat a person, one woman, certain way, that means you have the tool to treat every woman the same way.
And when you're talking about like institutional racism, this is what you're talking about, because you're having to teach people that's already in their loved profession not to be racist. So now we got kids in school. We've got teachers who are probably racist as well. What do you do then?
All these institutions. What differentiates between any of them? Do you know what I mean?
It's appalling. It's absolutely appalling to me. When it comes to things like that, I have zero tolerance. I'm radical when it comes to stuff like that. I call it out. I'm not the most favorite person in the workplace, but I didn't go there for favoritism. I didn't go there to, you know, to
You've
be
gone there
liked.
to make sure babies are delivered and mothers are looked after.
To be fair,
Sorry,
guys,
Dan, what were you going to say? Sorry, go on, Dan.
To be fair, I'm the sort of person I like to give people chances. Just in case I've interpreted it wrongly, right? Everybody are human. Everybody makes mistakes. So I need to give somebody a chance before I make an assumption. Because then, even though I'm a worker, I'm also a mother. I'm a sister, a parent. You know, I'm a woman. God bless me with one child. So I know where I'm coming from. There, not to say midwives who don't have children don't have empathy, but at the same time, I said, okay, let me not jump to conclusion here. And that's what has been saving a lot of our white counterparts, is because many Black midwives, brown midwives, give them the opportunity to clarify what they mean. The ones who don't really care. And then when you go toe-to-toe with some of these staff members, they cry something else. And
we need to sift them out. I'm sorry, I'm the opposite here. And I think we need to sift them
Debbie's
out.
on fire.
Rebel Debbie. I'm not here to pet anybody, right? This is a profession that I spent 18 months. It was the most intensive course that I've ever done. And I've done many before that. I did 18 months because I was a nurse of several years, all right? And I did 5 years in my nursing. It wasn't no quick whistle stop, you know, course. It was intense, and I learned it to the best of my ability. And when I did my midwifery, it was very, very intense, right? I think it's appalling that young girls are coming from college because they have a bit of academics. They can go from college to midwifery. It's appalling to me. Back in my days, you had to be a nurse before you could be a midwife. And at the very least, I've got people on my team that are direct entry, all right? These are women that are experienced. There's a difference between college and becoming midwives in 2-3 years, you know, midwives without any life experiences. So you're finding that, you know, if they've come out of school with their little biases and their lack of knowledge, and their lack of experience, and because they've got the gift of the gab, or, you know, they have high marks in their GCSEs, they can go straight to be midwives. And then they come with all these issues. When they're dealing with Black and white women, there's a difference. There's a difference.
You said earlier that this is old news. I remember one of my aunties, she was a midwife, and I remember in the 90s, she used to tell me this. And I found it difficult to believe, because obviously I was a child at the time, but she used to always tell me, like, the high rates of, like, Black women that were passing away, due to childbirth, and babies that were, obviously, being born unalived because of negligence and stuff like that. But you know what? It's funny, you said something earlier about history. I just wanted to touch on something. Do you think most of these doctors, like, my assumption is that with any other thing that you study that has a history, you study the history of it, because we have to understand where they got what years they got certain cures, what years they made certain breakthroughs. So I'm assuming they study these people, right? These scientists from the past and these doctors from the past who came with groundbreaking research. Am I not mistaken, right? So I'm assuming. Sorry, Diane. What were you gonna say?
I would say you would assume that, isn't it? That's the assumption.
Okay.
But unless you have concrete evidence, you just, in the past, we just took what we were told. And that's why things started to change, because then, based on what they told us, it wasn't adding up. And people started to pay attention to say, well, hold on a minute, this does not add up. Something is not right here. And then when people started to speak, they're saying, oh, no. And they brush it under the carpet, and then they move along.
Right. Now, the reason why I'm asking that.
Something else comes out.
The reason why I'm asking that, because I did a bit of research and I came across this guy called John Queer. Have you come across the man's name before? John Queer?
No.
So John Queer was a doctor around the 1700s. He was an Englishman who went to Jamaica in the 1700s. And what he done was he would ask a lot of the slave masters to give him enslaved Africans. He got over 800 of them. And he done all types of atrocious and horrendous experiments on these people to try and find a cure or a treatment for smallpox. When he finally made the breakthrough, word got round. Sorry about that. Word got round, and when word got round, slave owners said, to get a percentage of these breakthroughs and these cures that you guys are making, I'm going to give you some enslaved Africans, and I want a percentage of every single medicine that is sold. Now, I'm assuming that when doctors, midwives, or whoever in that profession go and study these things, just like law or any other profession, they must have a record of these kind of people, no? Because these are the people that clearly perpetuate that stereotype of, oh, trust me, all these experiments that were done on them back then, we know that they don't need any kind of, like, you know, painkillers or any kind of, you know, treatment that would lessen the pain. We know that they can endure it, because this stereotypes have to come from ignorance. It has to come from ignorance.
Let me help you out here. I can't say that with every course that people do. So you're talking about midwifery, medical, whatever it is. I can't say they give you the full history. They will definitely touch on these things. They're not going to go into details where people are going to be appalled at the situation.
Yeah.
It's for somebody to have had that information or be more inquisitive on that information to go a little bit further, because I've never heard of this person.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's never been something that I've been inquisitive about, that I want to go back in history to see what's going on. Yes, I know about some of the tools that are being used, because we directly use them in our labor ward. All right. So I know that those are attached to people that have used certain tools on Black women without pain relief as an experiment. So I know that, but I would say, no, it's not. They'll give you history, but they won't give you history where it's
okay. Now, the reason why I asked that, this ignorant stereotype that they have of Black women being able to have a high threshold of pain, yeah, and be able to endure pain, so therefore they don't give them the same, they neglect them and don't give them the same level of, like, attention, yeah.
Can I just say something?
Hold on, one minute, brother. It has to come from a lot of these experiments, these human guinea pigs. It has to come from this. Maybe they don't tell the students, but I'm telling you, I truly do believe, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I truly do believe the people who write these curriculums and give out this information, they know about these people. That's why they perpetuate that same nonsense to the students. Because why is that they believe that Black women can tolerate that pain, and when they're dying, it don't make no sense.
I just think it's like a myth that's like,
yeah, but where's this myth coming from? Bro, these guys were, these guys were known for doing these experiments without any pain killers whatsoever.
They've always kind of looked at Black people.
Yeah, but bro, we're talking 1600s, bro. You try to tell me that doesn't have an influence over the generations to come? Come on.
Deshante has put in the chat that there's been an erasing of history, and they're notorious of doing that.
Yeah.
To eradicate some of the stuff that would empower us to do something different.
But they can eradicate
because they wrote it.
But they can eradicate from us as the public knowing about it, and as the people going to study these courses knowing about it. But the ones who write the curriculum, they will not forget this, because this is how they get all the knowledge that they need to be able to do the experiments that they do. All the experiments that they did, they got the knowledge from it. Look, even just recent, like, not say recent, but just recent history, 1840s, James Marion Sims, experiments on teenage girls, letting them get pregnant.
We know about, because we have forceps that are called Sims, right?
There we go.
That's coming from that. We know about Sims.
There we go.
So I think, yeah, it's a tough one, but I would say, I mean, what was the point that I was trying to make? You know, it's one of these things where I really wanted to make this point, and it's completely slipped me. It will come back to me.
But you said Sims.
I'll just make a point while you're...
Sorry,
go ahead,
a recent example of that is what Bill Gates is doing right now in Africa. I don't know the exact country in Africa, but the president there is actually giving permission to, like, do experiments on, like, a bunch of women and things like that. And it's like we don't learn sometimes.
So this type of thing has been going on for a long time, and yes, there are things that we know about because they were either big experiments. There's an experiment, Diane, that they used a black woman to actually front it. Do you remember that experiment? I can't remember. So they tend to use our own people in some cases.
Yeah, I think majority of them were black women. It's not just that experiment. I think majority of them were black women. Like I said, James, Marion Sims, all of it was teenage girls. 17, 18, 19-year-old teenage girls, you know, to test their threshold of pain and to test how they deliver. Do they need... Yeah, sorry, Diane.
Deshante is trying to get in. Sorry, Diane.
Deshante, I'm not too sure what's going on. Hold on.
She's got more of a historical background. Sorry, Diane.
Yeah.
Let me say this quickly before Deshante comes in, because you know, there's the historical aspect of the medical field, both from the doctor's perspective and nursing perspective. Now, remember that we are all coming off slavery, and where they can still get away with doing things to black people, they continued. Now, you highlighting this information as a former student, that information, if it was passed to me, I don't remember. It's been a while, and I'm not gonna lie, but the information is out there. So they're not looking to flag it up. Now that it's coming to the forefront, yes, it will start coming forward and people will start getting to understand, because then how many people will realize that the Sims instrument to help in birthing came about because of practice on black women.
Yeah.
Not many people know this. And because not many, it's still hidden. Like I said, something happens, it's swept under the carpet. Most things happen, it's swept under the carpet. Now, yes, we can look for the root cause, but then where EMS has come in is because we're saying, you know what, we're sick and tired of talking. We are doing. We have talked, and we've been talking, and every group that comes along has talked and say, we should do this, we should do that, and then the should doesn't turn into anything, and that's where EMS come in.
So very quickly, thank you, Diane. Before Deshante comes in, what I wanted to say before was, okay, you've got like the medical profession, you've got the nurses, right? The nursing profession. With the medical profession, they have to swear by what they call an Hippocratic oath. All right.
Okay.
It's to keep things internally. So they're very, very good at covering up for each other. Very, very good at that. And they use medical things to explain certain incidences away. And this is what happens. So people like myself will speak up and say, well, hold on, that don't sound quite right. You know, and we need more of that. We need more of reviewing cases, because actually we know that this is not quite right, and we can speak up on that. But the doctors will medical profession will literally cover up their tracks with each other. This is what happens. So yeah.
You know what? At the moment, there's a lot of women, black women, who are fearing. I read the comments on Shadeborough. A lot of them said, "I'm about to have my baby in a month's time. About to have my baby in 2 weeks' time." Then they fear. They've all written fear. The word fear, right, was one of the key.
It's not a recent thing.
Hold on. They said they fear. So I want to know: are there alternatives to having your baby in hospitals? Are there like black people who can come to your house and do home births, holistics, or whatever? Are there alternatives for these women who are in fear?
So, Jazzy, it's got to be safe as well, right? So we're not encouraging people to just go and have home births and things like that. Look, kudos to our counterparts. Midwives work extremely very hard, as do obstetricians, all right? So we're not trying to rubbish the profession or the people in the profession. It's just a handful that is making it really, really bad for people, and particularly
the stats are high. That handful is causing a lot of deaths.
and I agree with you. You know, I'm just trying to be as polite as I can. For my
but I thought you were a rebel. I didn't think you were polite. I didn't think you were polite. You don't strike me as someone who tries to be polite.
I'm trying,
you know what I mean?
I'm trying. They don't like me. But I'm good with that. All right. So my thing is that, you know, we need to get to the point. This is what Elite Midwifery Services is all about. All right. We are here to give women advice, to make our colleagues, especially our racist colleagues, accountable. I stepped in with a woman into clinic with one of my pregnancy companions. So it was 3 of us all together as black women marching into that room. And you know how she greeted us? She said, the gang is here. And I said, excuse me?
Disrespect.
What kind of gang? What gang are we talking about? It's not a violent, you know, what's going on here?
The A-team.
But you see, when we got in that room and we'd introduce ourselves, she had to sit up, she had to cross her T's, she had to dot her I's. And my dear, when we came out of that room, this woman was at the last part of her pregnancy, so she's had many antenatal visits, all right? And she said this is the first visit that she's had, that she can come away and say that she's had the information that she needed. She knows where she was going. She knows what was going to happen. She knew what the plan was, because we made them do what they're supposed to do.
Debbie, I hear you 100%, but the question I asked was, are there alternatives? Are there midwives that are licensed that you can have home births with, and they're licensed and they're professional? Because especially black
safe,
ones
Jazzy.
as well.
So it's got to be straight. I'm going to make you come in, Diane. It's got to be safe, Jazzy. Thank you for bringing it back up. Delivery has got to be safe, and women have got to now starting to look at prenatal care before they get pregnant. They need to sort out their lifestyles, because those things contribute to their outcome. All right.
Are you hearing this, women? Any woman that's watching this, you need to be taking note.
So absolutely. So it's a double whammy effect when it comes to the black woman. All right. But every woman in general, they need to sort out themselves prenatally before they get pregnant. It's so important. So we're talking about lifestyle choices.
Eat healthy,
you know what?
go to the gym.
Deshante,
do right.
we've not heard much from Deshante, you know.
So the aim, I'm going to let her come in. So the aim of Elite Midwifery Services is to have...
Oh, she's frozen.
Have a low birth of London and the Midlands. So every region where somebody could, and I'm talking about a big old front room, right? Can you imagine, picture this, Jazzy, picture this, You can imagine a whole big front room. In the corner, you've got a little kitchenette. Over that corner, you've got the lady having a water birth, or you know, a birth on the bed, whichever it is. And the kids that she's already had over there doing, you know, watching TV, or the music is on, and food are cooked, and you know, just an open forum. So it gives them like almost like a home birth setting. And we can deliver them. I've delivered women in my a particular woman in my house by accident. It wasn't something,
guys.
But I'm telling
that was
you,
terrifying.
Well, you were there. You were there.
I was there.
She went into labor, and I delivered her, and she had an absolutely amazing delivery.
Fred, would you know what to do, Fred? Would you know what to do?
Listen,
would you know what to do?
No. The thing is, you think like, my mom's a midwife, but then you see it and it's like, oh, my mom's a midwife.
Hey, I'm a midwife. Okay. I'm absolutely a midwife.
Debbie, that's your daughter.
That's my daughter. Deshante is my daughter.
You guys didn't. I didn't even know you said my mom. I just clocked that my mom's a midwife. Sorry.
Okay, so she's a part of the business. I told her not to do that, though.
All right, cool.
So she's a part of the business because she does our account. She does all our social media. So she's not just there because she's my daughter. She has abilities, and she's been, leading on all of the aspects of this business.
So, Deshante, have you got any children?
Yeah.
I don't.
So when the time comes, are you going to be fearful?
I think just simply knowing my mom and knowing that she's going to be there, it puts so much confidence in you. And I'm kind of glad she started this organization as well, because then she can put the same confidence that I have in her into other women.
So get this, Jazzy and Fred. Awareness without intervention and solutions is fear-mongering. It's fear. So that's why people are scared, because there's no solutions.
This is what I'm saying. They've been talking. This has been going on for years. Why it's coming up on the news again? I don't know, because there's no solution.
No, the reason why.
Again.
The reason why.
Fear-mongering.
No, it's not just fear-mongering. There was a politician. There is a politician in Birmingham called Paulette Hamilton. And she brought it up because she works for the Health and Social Care Select Committee, and she had so many files on her desk that are of all the deaths, and they realized that majority of them were black women. So she brought it back up again, and now this was sparked this new conversation about it, and that's the reason why it's all over the social media, and that's why these new age of women are all fearful now, because they're thinking, hold on, our mothers went through it, our grandmothers went through it, now we're going through it. We thought these stats were old stats.
So even
hang on, let me answer the question, because you're like questions too fast. So while we want to advocate for women and for women to, I know the fear is there, but the women play a part. Part of this is their choice. They have a choice in everything that they do. So prior to me shifting from my last institution, we were charged with encouraging women to have home births. A lot of the times when you ask a woman, why do you not consider home birth? As long as they're risk assessed and they're safe to have a home birth, they can have a home birth. But 95 to 99%, and I'm just grabbing numbers here, don't quote me, please, will say, I'd rather go in the hospital. Why? Because it's safer. And then you're thinking, And a lot of times home birth is safer. But when you watch this program on the telly called The Midwife, they're thinking, oh, that's back in the days, old school. I don't want to do that. I want to be in a hospital. I want a water birth. I want this. I wanted that. So they go to their appointments and they don't even consider a home birth. So if they're low risk and can have a home birth, they're gonna they normally say hospital.
Okay.
Straight up. Or somebody who goes, oh, I want that epidural. I just want that epidural. Okay, fine, fair enough. You can't have an epidural at home. So that is one reason to go in for to the hospital.
But Diane, we come back to that fear mongering, innit? Women are scared. They're scared. And yes, the institution is where they're probably going to be more, and I hate to say it, because there's safety in the institution if they're given the right information and the right care, but they're scared to stay at home with the same midwives that are autonomously making decisions on their behalf. Because I've seen appalling situations with home births where they've been kept at home when they needed to be transferred because they've gone from low risk to high risk. And it's not been...
I put that down to the practitioner and their skills.
But it's the practitioners that we're fearful of, because people have these unconscious biases that we have to be mindful of.
All right.
Remember,
so for someone like me, what exactly is a practitioner? For someone like me who doesn't know, but I'm just nodding my head.
Midwives.
Okay, sorry. It's another word for midwife. Midwife.
No.
So we are practitioners.
Midwife. A practitioner is
a professional person in the field.
Is doing a profession because you're a practitioner in your field.
I see. Okay. I see.
So anybody who's a practitioner.
Oh, so any field. Oh, I see. As long as you're a professional, you could be a practitioner. Okay. All right.
That aspect of what I see. Trained to do.
Okay.
That's you're a practitioner.
I had to ask. So I was just nodding my head, but I didn't really actually know what it was.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So it weighs differently. The scale, the balance scale, it changes. It changes now and again. And as I said, yes, some of the mothers need to take onus for their choice. However, because they tend to rely heavily on the advice that is given, and it leads into some bad advice. Hence, we are where we are now, which is not where we want to be. So you're asking, is there any mothers' homes out there? Is there any other organizations out there where Black and ethnic and brown women can go to? We haven't come across any to date.
Correct.
We are one of the first. If there are others out there, they haven't flagged it up. I know for other cultures, I'm not post birthing. There's mothers' homes for some. An alternate culture. I'm not particularly keen to state here, but it does exist. I know in other countries they do have this. Antenatally wise, I'm not 100% sure, but postnatally wise, absolutely. Antenatally wise, it's just different. And for what we are providing by way of EMS is, you would want to call it a hand-holding service.
I see.
Because then we are saying to women and dads, because we're not leaving the fathers behind. This is a unified situation. The mother didn't get pregnant on her own unless she's gone through a program. Okay, and that's a different conversation altogether. No, because it
understand
this. And the thing is, we are saying, ask your questions. Come, what is it that you are fearful about? We need to get to the root of the problem. Apart from what is it that you want to know, how can we make your journey, your pregnancy journey, one that is positively remembered? Because then becoming a parent is a big deal. That's a whole other human being, and we, both mom and baby, are getting lost in the conversation and becoming a statistic, but at the end of the day, it's a life. So you need that mother to ask her question. Whoever is around her that's supporting her, keeping her up and encouraging her, they have their questions as well. They have their fears as well. And unfortunately, what happens as well is we have this thing called Chinese telephone. The grandmother tell the mother tell the grandchild. The grandchild is saying, oh God, I'm going to have this child scared at me with because my grandmother went through this. I'm thinking, it's a two different things. That's Chinese telephone there where we can say, look, let's hang up the phone and stop. Let's redial.
And call EMS.
Absolutely.
Who are you gonna call?
I love Diane. She's an amazing part of the company, and I'm so happy to have her on board. She does keep me balanced, but let's not move away from the reality. The reality is that awareness is out there, and it's good. There's no solution. Women are bone scared of going to have their babies because they're not sure now that they're going to come out. And what I'm seeing at the other end, in intact with their baby. The other thing that I'm concerned about is the women that we are currently seeing are women that tend to be 30 and plus. So and above. These younger women are being so blasé. Right? They're looking at their other friends and they're being blasé about this. They're saying, well, if my friend did it, I can do it. Or if I've had one, I can have a second. And that's not the case. They are more at risk because their diets are appalling, really. Let's face it. McDonald's cannot rear your child in utero. KFC is not going to do it. Do you see what I mean? And it puts them at a high risk of things like preeclampsia, diabetes, or pregnancy, diabetes, all these things that are contributing to their outcome. So that's our journal there. That's our journals.
Elite Midwifery Service. You see, I'm a fast learner,
Is this a midwife? Once she's in the throes of the labor room with the mother can tell how that mother, even if she's never done any antenatal care with that woman, she can tell how she ate.
For real?
Just like delivered. Yes.
Wow.
We can tell.
Wait, how?
Huh? It
That's
tells
a story.
That's a very good question. How?
Tells in the body. We know because then the body responds in a particular way.
I see.
So whenever a woman goes for her antenatal appointment and the midwife say, cut out the sugar, treat yourself to one donut, not one box. One donut is a treat because you put yourself at risk of developing the gestational diabetes. That's just diabetes in pregnancy. But hear what? We can tell at the delivery stage, and this diabetes, once you have it in pregnancy, is likely to come back in later years.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So
Stay with you. We'll stay with you.
yeah, and it can stay with you. So where midwives are giving the information, pay attention to it. There's some truth in it. It's not all bad. There's some truth in it. We said go for a walk. Seriously, go for a walk.
There's a lot of truth in it because you've also got the placenta. Because once baby's delivered, we examine the placenta and we're looking for infarctions. Yeah, we're looking for abnormalities. We're looking for calcification, and that also tells you the state of how you've conducted your lifestyle
that's quite
and the
interesting.
health of your baby.
That's very interesting.
And another aspect of it is smoking. Some people smoke, even if the mother doesn't smoke or drink, the partner smokes. So if you smoke around your pregnant partner,
that's terrible, man.
It's not just
Secondhand smoke.
telling me what. Don't tell me what to do. I'm my own person. This and it's going to affect your child. Now you're saying, you love and you care for your child. You want the best for your child. So the advice being given to you, your responsibility is to make sure you're doing everything you can to bring that child into this world as safe and as healthy as possible. Prior to this podcast, you didn't have answers to some questions.
Definitely.
But now you know. Even if you don't come and reach out to us, ask a question.
Absolutely.
Hospitals are not prisons.
Yeah. So
hospitals are not police stations. Ask a question.
Quick question. So let's say a woman's watching this right now. She's about to have her child. She's fell for some of the fear mongering or the stats that she's seen, which look like they're real stats. So therefore, she's worried. She contacts EMS right now. Are you guys working in all the cities across the country, or just London and Birmingham and Manchester, the main cities?
So we are working. So we started off in South London, and we've got midwives in other regions. So in the Midlands, we've got midwives in East and North. You're North, Diane, aren't you? Are you North?
I always say that. I'm in East London.
Oh, so she's East, sorry. Diane is East. So we've got midwives across the regions. Equally, we take phone calls from everybody. So we have a phone
a telephone triage. So.
Right, so we can actually speak to women, which we've done many a times.
Yeah.
So we've done that many a times where we could give the advice on the phone. I've delivered a woman on the phone, so to speak. Yeah, I've given them the advice, and they've gone on to have a very smooth delivery. Even though it was threatening to have like a cesarean section, I gave them the advice, and they were able to give me the information, like the CTG scanning, and I was able to advise them, and they went on to have a safe delivery. So even if you're out of region, we're planning to come into your area. We're not there yet because we rely on funding. The service is free. Okay, so you just need to go onto our website, and if we can't come to you, because at the moment...
What is the website?
Website is www.elitemidwiferyservices with an S at the end, .org. That's .org. Okay, and we...
Elite Midwifery Services.
Elite Midwifery Services. So our phone number is attached to the website. You can always call us. We will answer. If you leave a message, we will call back. and
She's frozen again.
Okay, frozen.
we can give you advice there. We're saying that, so everything that we're doing at the moment is being funded by ourselves. So we have a team that is paying for this, paying for that. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
We need funding. We need funding, and we need people to reach out and to, to donate so that we can carry on the service and to bring it to another level. As I said to you earlier, our aim is to have a low risk birthing unit in every region of London and the Midlands. Yeah. Right?
One aspect of EMS that we didn't speak about is our village service.
A village service. We do have a village service.
So,
go on, Diane.
So basically, from the time you are confirmed pregnant, right up until 2 years old, that's what our services cover.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right up until 2 years old, we have health visitors attached to us. And then the village service, which Debbie absolutely adores, and she explains it way better than myself. So I'm going to let her do that.
So let me chime in then. So to reiterate what Diane says, we'll take any gestation as long as it's a confirmed pregnancy, and we can keep women up to 2 years postnatally, because that's when especially Black women are at risk of perinatal disease. So that's mental health issues attached to the pregnancy, all right, or to the post-pregnancy. Then we also have the village service. So our village service is incorporating the community. So what we're doing, if you can think of like a foster care system. So we're recruiting people from the community that have a spare room. So say, for instance, Fred, you have a spare room because one of your children has flown the nest. We will recruit you to be a grandparent, so to speak, to a vulnerable mother and a child. So I may call you up. So I've already vetted you. I've done your DBS. Training. You've already got, experience because you've had your own children, and we support you. And we will allocate our women, our vulnerable women, to you. So I will call you up and say, Fred, we've got a woman that's delivered. She's 2 days. We don't want her to stay in the hospital. She needs support. She's got nobody at home. Can you have her for a week?
That's a great service.
And we will literally bring her over. So we have a car service. We have a designated driver, which we will expand that service as the demand is.
Okay, you're frozen. There we go.
Frozen again.
Is met, as the demand is needed. We want that service, and literally we'll get our driver to pick that woman up and to take her to your home, and the midwives will come and see her at your home. You will support her. You'll give her some chicken soup to drink or whatever it is, something nutritious, and you'll encourage her with things like breastfeeding, and you will give her support for like sleeping and stuff, because perinatal mental health comes from a lack of sleep. Would you agree with me, Diane? It's a big part of it when women can't get to sleep. They suddenly got a baby that doesn't sleep all night, and so they're up all night, they're up all day, they can't settle the baby, and then they start to go mentally challenged, right? So you will take that baby for the night and give her, or for a couple of hours, and just let her have a good night's sleep. You'll give her some, some good breakfast, kalaloo and some dumpling and something nutritious.
I have massive admiration for you women, because I had to go through with my wife, and when she was in a coma, looking after my premature son for like 4 months.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot.
So even in a situation like that, we could have definitely have supported her.
It was COVID times. No one was allowed to.
I see what you mean. COVID.
So Fred, were you allowed to visit her?
On the phone, Fred.
Were you allowed to visit her?
Phone support.
Sorry?
When she was in a coma, were you allowed to visit her?
No, I didn't see her the whole time.
For 4 months, you didn't see her?
No. We had like video phone calls every now and then, but she was in a coma, innit? So
like in terms of like
before she went in, we had a video phone call, and for months I didn't.
So in terms of like bathing her and stuff, it was the nurses doing all of that stuff.
Yeah, but you have to remember COVID.
So. Wow.
COVID was different. That was the standard for everybody. That was the standard for everybody. And when it came to pregnant women, the women who were having their child during COVID, lost out on a lot. And for first-time mothers, oh my God, it's not nice looking back for them, because that was their first experience, and what they thought it would have been based on stories that they heard or anticipated it to be, it was absolutely not that.
It was a horror story.
If they go on to have other children, they come and they say, oh, I didn't like it, I didn't have this, I didn't have that, and you can hear the hurt in the voice. And I know we're talking about Black women here, but this is across the board. So COVID is just one whole other thing. But going back to us, what we do offer post-birthing is being available in the postnatal period. So even if you're not getting involved in the village service, because then we try to, if the partners are available, we try to support with the partners in mind to help. So if the mom is saying, oh God, I don't know what to do, then she doesn't have to wait and say, oh, in the morning I'm gonna call the midwives. She can send a text message, somebody's on call, because she's just had her baby and she's still in that 14-day period, and she might be up all night and she wants to ask a question, and we know that, okay, we've just had this mother deliver. She might be a bit anxious, although she might be still spending a few hours in the hospital. But then even when she goes home, not everybody has a family set up. They don't need the village service, but they don't have a family set up. They want to go back to their own home, but they know that they can pick the phone up or send a text message or call and say, oh, are you up? Can I ask this question? And they know that they're getting an answer straight away. So, and that really helps. That really helps.
It's a great service. Great service.
Definitely. I think
it needs funding.
100%. Anyone watching this, I'm telling you, just make sure that you go to the website, Elite Midwifery Services.org. Go to the donation side and definitely donate, because look, at the end of the day, whether you consider it fair mongering or not, the fact is the stats are high when it comes to the deaths, when it comes to Black women.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? In that type of situation. So to avoid that, this is where you need to try and, look for the alternative to avoid that. That's if you are scared, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of success stories as well. But if you are scared, which likely you should be, because obviously it's a high stat, then come on, let's donate. Do you know what I mean?
As Black women, when a Black woman's going through that pregnancy, or especially in the hospital, or you see other Black women, it puts you a little bit at ease. And you know what I'm saying? You see you got other Black women with you, it does put you at ease.
And that's a actual research fact, because when you see women that look like you, that are caring for you, they tend to open up more. And when they open up, then we get the real picture of what's going on. And we can, we can implement certain things to make sure they're doing the right thing, really. And it's happened many a time. So what I will say, in addition to that, I recently attended a Soul Purpose 360 event. It was on women's health, Black women's health. And when I presented Elite Midwifery Services, my goodness, there was a fleet of women that had delivered 10, 11, 12, 13 years ago, long before now, that were literally asking me about their delivery, trying to get some information as to what went wrong and why it went wrong. So I've seen the opening for, some kind of podcast. This is not my, it's not my thing I can definitely speak on podcasts. It's not
Don't worry, podcast coming.
Yeah, all right. EMS podcast.
Soon comes.
Don't worry.
Again, what I'm saying is
we already have elite dads.
We have elite dads. So we need a forum.
Wow,
we need a forum where we can give women that have delivered many years ago an opportunity to debrief, right, their situation, because there's women that are still hurting, they're still reflecting, but they've got no answers. And so those things are carried through their lives, and it needn't be.
Okay.
We just give them some answers as to what may have gone wrong. We weren't there, but we can tell you what may have gone wrong and how to sort of get past that so that they can move on. Because they're stuck. They're stuck with that memory as to why did this happen? You know, why did that happen? And there's no answers for them. So we're coming with that. We're coming with that. But again, it's additional work to do or to be done.
And the thing is, I do believe you guys will get there. I do believe you guys will get there. We
need to get there. We're not going to give up. We're seeing women now and it's on our own salary. You know, so the money that I make, I'm throwing it into the company. The money that my staff are making, they're throwing it into the company where they can. We still have individual lives to live. So, you know, there's so much that we can put in, but we're definitely seeing women when we can't put money in, we put our time in. So everybody is donating their time. You know, so
the service needs to be promoted within the community, man. If anyone has got a platform, anyone, honestly, this is something really, really positive. And like I think it was you that said it earlier on, Debbie. We don't work together enough. You know what I mean? You know, like Jazia, I got my channel, you got your channel, and we got together. We don't. If we did more of that, then we'd have less of what's happening right now.
There's power in unity. There really is. It sounds cheap,
United we stand, divided we fall.
Absolutely.
That's it. What were you going to say, Diane?
One thing I will say, because the last event I went to, there weren't many young people there. And I touched on every older person there. And when I finished, they said, "Oh, yes, my grandchildren." So they are the ones
that
who
need the information.
They're watching. Please tell your children, tell your grandchildren about our services. That's the part that you can play. This is what you can do. Not where, oh, I've passed that stage, I can't, or I don't have kids anymore. You have children, you have grandchildren, you have daughters-in-law, you have a son-in-law who basically wants some advice. Let him come and ask us. Let him approach us. Ask your daughter. Approach them, at least come and inquire for yourself.
Definitely.
You know, that's how it can grow from the grandparent to the child to the actual parent.
You know, it's so interesting you said that.
It's all confidential, Jazzy. We work on a professional level. We don't, you know, it's everything is accountable, really. And we have a CRM system that we document on. So it's very professional service that we offer. And,
let me tell you who's in your team. Apart from us, the midwives, we have health visitors, we have a social worker, we have obstetrician,
and our pregnancy companions.
We have a nutritionist.
What's an obstetrician? Obstetrician, what's that?
So that's a doctor. That's a doctor of maternity.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the obstet.
They do obs and gynae.
Obs and gynae. So you hear mostly from overseas, they say OBGYN.
OBGYN,
Okay.
So we have an obstetrician, we have a social worker, we have a lawyer. We are covered.
Oh, wow. You're doing your thing, man.
This isn't something we flew
and
together.
Counselor, you miss counselor, Diane. We have counselor.
Because postnatal, you would need something like, you get a lot of postnatal depression, isn't it?
We cater for caring for mothers.
Absolutely, Jazzy. Yeah, absolutely.
Experiencing it, yes. So counselor, yes. Also aspects of midwifery, yes. But it all depends on how deep it is. So then the counselor would really go out and deal with that client. So we'd hand her over. But it's on a need-to-know basis. The council may not need to know about somebody here who had a perfect or acceptable birth because she's not displaying any postnatal blues or depression or anything. The midwife can deal with that. So the council won't need to know. But if it's a situation as is with the NHS, if it's more than what the midwife needs to do with, then we hand over to the council where she goes, okay, so let's work together and bring you back to your normal. Yeah.
All right.
But we also have social workers, Diane. Let's not forget the social worker. We have
We said the social workers. We have social workers.
So if you're going through a social issue, a social services issue,
With kids and stuff, yeah.
we can assist.
Oh, wow.
We're doing that as well. So we have.
The only one we haven't got on board yet is a dentist.
That will come. That will come. That will come. Fred does that. Fred works in that field. Fred works in dental work, so he can.
You see what I'm talking about? We might even be able to refer to a chiropractor because then moms can have chiropractic work. So the newborn babies, who knew? It's a thing.
All
Trust me.
Ladies, we're gonna have to wrap it up. But before we do, I just wanted to say you mentioned something earlier about village, and it made me think of the times when there was that one person in the town or the village who had mastered the skill of delivering babies, and that knowledge was passed on and passed on and passed on. Now, obviously, these corporations have got involved, these big conglomerates have got involved. This is where the ignorance that they're banking on is supporting their mission, basically. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, the information was more centralized and it was shared amongst the community. Do you know what I mean? So you guys are now stepping in, you're creating that now. So all of you watching, guys, I'm telling you, get in touch with EMS. Go to their website. I'm going to put it across the screen because I'm not going to mention it again. Go to their website, and if you have that fear, if you are in doubt and you want to have a safe delivery, a comfortable delivery, because remember, it's all psychological. If you're in fear, that fear is seeping into your child. It's seeping into your baby. So have that confidence, build that confidence. Guys, if you're watching, please share this video. Make people aware about this, because I was surprised to see so many women who had all these like terrible experiences that they wrote down.
Traumatic experiences.
Traumatic, bro. Traumatic.
Like loads, yeah.
That's the reason why Fred and I said, look, we have to get professionals on the podcast, because originally we were going to talk about how frustrated we were, and I thought we might add the fear mongering ourselves because we're frustrated, and we had to get more, a more rational insight into the situation. Do you know what I mean? But Fred, sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I think Debbie mentioned earlier on about how the young ladies, they need to pay more attention and stuff.
Yeah.
That's very crucial information, because like people are like doing balloons, crazy stuff nowadays. They're eating McDonald's and all these fast foods and all that stuff. But as well as that, you need to you got to make sure to pay attention to who your partner is and things like that, because you can't be going through this life having a baby by yourself. It's a lot. Like, I've realized since having my children, it's a lot for one person. It's a lot.
It is.
Can I correct something, please?
Yes,
because I don't want your listeners to feel that we're being talking down to them. You can have your McDonald's, with No, treat is treat. Have your McDonald's.
No, we don't promote that around here, man.
Milkshake. No
milkshake. No milkshake.
The pregnancy journey is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody, because then what she might be craving is a McDonald's, and until you get that one McDonald's, she won't settle.
So let's not forget, Diane. Let's not forget we spoke about prenatal care. So we're not talking about craving here. There's no cravings going on prenatally, right? So if you're planning a pregnancy, you should put the best that you can in your body. If it's not happened that whilst you are pregnant, you've already done the building block for that. But whilst you're pregnant, if you have a small craving for some ice cream, nobody's stopping you from doing that. What you can't do is have an ice cream every day, because you're going to put yourself at risk of diabetes. And it's as simple as that. So we're talking about prenatal care. Take responsibility, make plans to have a child so that you could prepare yourself in the best way, shape and form that you can to start with. Once you've got the foundation, anything that comes after is going to be a plus.
You can deal with,
Go down the route of having a McDonald's, it's not going to be too detrimental. One here, one there. And that's what Diane is saying, really.
I hear you.
And if the fathers are still around, or whatever the situation, stay in contact, even for the child's sake, because for our community, it doesn't look good on paper, let alone in reality. Please. Tired a child, be there. Irrespective of what your history was, be there for yours.
100%. That's something that me and Fred are always promoting, you know, just making sure that you pick your partner wisely so you don't end up realizing, oh my God, I'm having a child with her and I don't really like her. I'm having a child with him and I don't really like him. And then the child's affected now, thinking, why do you guys like each other? But that's because they just lustfully saw each other's flesh and thought, yep, let's go. You know?
They don't know the person. They don't know it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Get to know each other and make a plan. If you're planning, that means you know each other. You're thinking about the pros and cons and how this thing is going to work out.
100%.
You know?
100%. Well, on that note, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Guys, please go to the website. I'm putting it across the screen again. Donate. Get in contact. You know, if you're about to
I want to commend you guys highly, honestly. Honestly, like, and the fact that you're saying you're doing this with your own money, your own time, and you're not getting no funding, honestly, words can't put enough how much. Obviously, being in them hospitals and seeing certain things as well myself, like, it's, you guys, you're angels, honestly.
100%. I agree with Fred 100% on that. 100% on that. But
and I want to take this opportunity to thank my entire team. So what you see on the website is not the entire team. We have other people in different areas. So the plan is that, say for Diane in the East, we'll be having a separate link to a separate website, but the same information for
I see. So based on your location, it will send you to that.
Exactly. So you won't see Diane on the South London, which is the main base website, because she will be controlling the East side.
I see.
So she will have a website, but that's something that we're working on.
I see.
So,
I see.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you very much for coming. Like, trust me, I've learned so much as well, because you know, earlier on, as you heard, even epidurals, like I remembered it because I remembered like calling the nurse saying, "Come, my wife needs more of this," but I'm just doing it because I'm a overprotective husband. I didn't even realize. You know what I'm trying to say? I just knew it helped her with the pain. So a lot of the stuff I'm learning, man. Do you know what I mean? You know? But yeah, listen.
On that note, I'm inviting you both to that Elite Dads.
Elite Dads, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll be there, man. We'll be there.
Absolutely.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Again. 100% appreciate that.
Anytime. You know? We're here anytime. If you want to do a follow-up, we are here. Because there's so much more that we could have spoken.
We probably will do it.
We will do, definitely.
Yeah.
We will do.
That would be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a great evening, guys.
Thank you. Guys. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. Right. So, boy, ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen this and this can assist you, make sure that you get in touch. Make sure you check out EMS. Great people, great conversation, bro. I felt a bit embarrassed, you know, how much I was asking questions and stuff that I didn't know, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, bro, no, bro.
No.
At the end of the day, there's gonna be people watching it that don't even understand the same terminology.
Exactly. That's the reason why I was Sorry,
brother. Everything comes in its own jargons and all that stuff. So if you don't remember, I would definitely ask, what's this, what's that? You know, I will too. It's like, I mean, I don't feel like I'm dumb. If you don't know something, you got to ask.
That's it. And that's the kind of man that I am. I will always ask questions, because if I don't know, whether I have a vague memory of it, but I'm just going to jog my memory, I will still ask, because I don't like nodding my head for no reason, bro. Do you know what I mean? You know? But yeah, guys, listen, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, share this video, because guys and ladies, especially guys, a lot of us need to know this stuff.
Especially people in the black community. EMS, trust me.
Elite Midwifery Services.org. Elite Midwifery Services.org. Yeah.
Very simple. Remember that.
That's it, man. That's it. Guys, have a lovely evening. God bless. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification button so you can be up to date with every single thing that we drop. And yeah, brother, beloved, it was a beautiful conversation. Thank you very much, man. Same to you. Have a good evening. God bless, my brother.